Hi guys, so today I just wanted to do something a little bit different. I don't know if any of you watched the Oscars earlier this year, but Emma Stone is one of my favourite actresses of all time. I love all the films that she's in, and I absolutely loved her outfit and her makeup this year at the Oscars. So I wanted to recreate for you today the look that she had for makeup and for hair. I don't own a beautiful, very expensive green gown, so that will not be happening, but hopefully the makeup look and the hair look will be really good. I think it's just a general really nice look for like the springtime at the moment. She had a lot of golds and a lot of browns and natural colours going on as well, so I thought it would look really, really nice for an event or even just a night out or a dinner party or something like that in the springtime. So I will put a picture here of the makeup look and the hair look that I will be doing, and hopefully I will be able to recreate it as best I can with the resources that I have. So I hope you enjoy it. To start off with, I've already put primer on my face. I've used the Max Factor primer. I tend to need a lot more coverage in the spring, weirdly enough, because I do get quite blotchy on my cheeks, so I found their coverage really, really good. So after my primer, the first thing I'm going to start off with is my concealer. It's not... I've had this concealer for a long time. I actually have absolutely no idea where it's from. It's one that I stole from my mum. But I think it's a Body Shop one. I'm not sure. But it's just this really nice concealer. It's quite a pale colour, but I find that really nice in the springtime, especially because it does get rid of the redness, especially I get it along the top of my cheeks, and that does work really well. So I'm just going to start under my eyes just to get rid of some of the blotchiness there. That's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm just going to use my ring finger just to pat that in and smooth it about. The next thing I want to use is the Max Factor Pan Stick. It is like a foundation, but it's just so easy to apply, and it's so creamy, and it's just, I think it's really good for the springtime just because it is so handy to have about with you wherever you go. So I just sort of blot it around the face, and then I am going to use my foundation brush, which I will use later on as well. I just know it doesn't have a lot of effect. I have found though with this pan stick it's quite difficult to blend because it does go on quite thick, so I tend to just generally brush it around, blend it a little bit with a big brush, and then I just go back with my, are these your index fingers? I don't know. And then you can just smooth it in the problem areas, just spread it around that little bit more. And I think this is just because it's such a matte foundation. I think it's brilliant for the spring as well, just because it gets rid of that kind of glowiness that I tend to get. The next thing that I'm going to use is this staying powder here. This is in the shade Light. It's the Match Perfection by Rimmel. I then am going to take one of my bigger brushes. This is a soft brush that I tend to use for my powder foundations, and I'm just going to take this and mix these colours together. This doesn't give a great amount of coverage if you are using a larger brush, but it's just really nice just to give that kind of staying power to your foundation. And it also gives you just a little tiny bit, because it's got that bronze in it as well, this colour here, just of that kind of more of a glow, a springy type glow. So I put that all over my face, and then I just dab a little bit extra just all around my cheeks, just to give me that little bit of a glow. The next thing that I'm going to use is my blush. For the look that Emma Stone had, she didn't really do a pinky blush. It was more of a brown, sort of very natural blush look. So the blush that I'm going to use is the Honeycomb blush here, which is called Honey Queen. This blush is by W7 and it is really nice. You do get this little tiny brush with it, but I always find those really useless, so I tend to use my blusher brush, which is this one here, which is just slanted as well, as you can see here, which just gives it a really nice easy application, especially on your cheeks. So just dab that all around. This does give quite good coverage, so you don't need too much. So I'm just putting that in the lower crease here, just to give myself a little bit of a contour going on, and on the other side as well. I also tend to put just a little bit at the bottom of my chin, just because that does distract from my fat face. It does get rid of double chins that a little bit. So once you're happy with that, I'm just going to take my concealer brush again, and it has this shade here in it, which is like a goldy browny shade. So I'm just going to collect up some of that shade, and I'm just going to dab it across the apples of my cheeks and on the other side as well. And then using this brush again, just to blend it in that little bit, will just give you that kind of a blushed effect, but a much more bronze blush effect, without slapping a load of bronze on your face, because I find that quite weird unless you do it all over. The next step of it, I'm going to move on to the eyes now. In Emma Stone's look, she doesn't use eyeliner on the bottom, or as far as I can see she doesn't, so I'm going to be using this NYC Glam Stick eyeliner. It's just this really nice shimmery brown colour, so I am going to just put that on the lower lash line of my eyes, doing it about 3/4 of the way across. I think this stuff is so nice because it does go on really easily, and I always poke myself in the eye. It also works really well because I have green eyes, and I tend to find if I use a brown eyeliner, it just makes my eyes stand out that little bit more. I also really like the glittery effect in this. We will go back to using that later on. For the rest of the eyeshadows, I'm going to be using the W7 in the Nude palette, which I absolutely love. It's so good because you do get a variety of shades, and some of them are matte, some of them are shimmery, so it's really good and really useful. The first shade that I'm going to use, I am going to use my larger eyeshadow brush here, and I'm just going to use an all over natural colour. So we are going for this shade here. So I just want a little bit of that, and I'm going to brush that all over my eyelid, and this will just give us a really nice warm bronzed base. The next one I'm going to take is a more matte colour using the same brush. I'm going to use this colour here. This is a matte colour, so I'm going to take a little bit more of this. I'm going to use this just on the outer half of my eye and bringing it up as well, just underneath my brow bone, and on the other side. We're also going to use a lighter colour as well, which I'm going to use this colour here just for a bit of a highlight. So this I am just going to use at the bottom of my eyebrow, just all around here, and on the other side as well. I'm also going to use this just in the little tear duct section of my eyes here, just to bring them out a little bit but not give them too much of a shimmer. Moving on from that, I'm going to go to a smaller brush. I am going to be using just a slightly smaller brush, this one here. We're going to take this shade here again and just give ourselves a little bit more to work with on the bottom of our eyelids here. And then we're going to take this darker shade. This is kind of like a purpley shade. It's a little bit more purpley than Emma's look was at the Oscars, but I'm literally just going to use this on the outside edge of my eye. It will look quite dramatic to start with just because it is such a deep colour, but don't worry, all that will be fixed. So once we've got this, it does look a little bit strange at the moment, but what we're going to do is we're going to get our large brush. Again, I'm using my concealer brush again just because it's so good for doing that. I'm going to then take my Sleek Storm palette, which is this one here, which you can see has a variety of really nice colours here which I want to use. I am going to take my most natural colour, which is this one here, and I am just going to use that just to blend in the colours, especially the darker colour. So what this will do, it'll just blend all those colours together so you don't have such a dramatic outside, but you can still see that you have got the pigmentation here and here. I'm then going to take one of my thinnest brushes, which is this one here. It's also a slanted brush. I'm going to use the golden colour out of the Sleek palette, and I'm just going to use this kind of as a semi liner, I suppose. I just want to use this the whole way along my eyes, just along the eyelash line, but also bringing it a little bit further up than you would do if you were using a liquid liner, because we are going to use a liquid liner as well, so this just gives it a really nice definition. I'm also going to put a little bit just in the outer V of my eye, just to brighten up my eyes a little bit. And this you can apply quite heavily because it is such a nice colour. So you can see now we've got that little bit of shimmer, a little bit of purple, a little bit of brown, just a very all over natural look. And we are going to move on now to our eyeliner. I am using the Dior eyeliner. This is just a standard eyeliner pen. I'm just going to do that very thinly. We don't want a lot because we are going to be putting fake lashes on as well. So you just want a really thin line of this along your top lashes. We aren't going to do anything along the bottom lash line. You just want a very, very small cat eye at the end as well, just to give it that little bit extra. So I'm going to do the same on the other eye. So as you can see now, we have got all that on. We have got a really nice natural look. Really you could leave it like this and have it as a day wear, but I'm going to continue. The next thing I'm going to do is my eyebrows. The pen that I've got for this is this one here. It is the Maybelline Brow Satin. I've got mine in medium brown. So I'm just going to take this, and really I just want to fill in my brows just to make them look a little bit neater because I've got terrible eyebrows. I went for a colour that was slightly darker than my natural eyebrow colour, but it is a lot closer to my hair colour. I think that this looks really, really nice. Just because I dye my hair so much, it looks a lot different. I mean, you can see the difference now in those, but I just think it stands out a lot more and looks a lot better and closer to my natural colour, or what I assume is my natural colour of my hair. I really don't know. I've been dyeing my hair so much, I have no idea what my natural colour is anymore. So there we go, we've just tidied up the brows, and we are now going to move on to our next step. I am going to put a little bit of mascara on and then attempt fake lashes, which I am not very good at. I'm really not a very skilled person when it comes to fake lashes, but I'm going to start off with mascara, which is the Benefit mascara, the They're Real. This is really, really nice. I find this really good for day wear. It's just got a really nice simple brush. I don't know if you can see that, it's not very focused. So I'm just going to put that on my top lashes, just a thin layer, just so they will blend in a bit better with the false eyelashes that we're going to use. I'm not going to do my bottom lashes just yet. We're going to leave that for a little bit later when we've got our false eyelashes on, which we are going to attempt to tackle now. The lashes that I've got is the collection ones. They're these ones here, the Luscious Lashes. These are the Glam Volume Lashes, which they're not too big. I initially thought they would be quite big, but they are just really, really nice, especially if you've got a lot of golds on. So you get in this little thing, you do get your glue included, and you get your 2 lashes as well. Now I have to warn you, I am the worst person in the world at eyelashes. They are not my forte at all. I try not to wear them too often. I'm going to take my pair of tweezers that I have here. The tweezers that I'm using are actually really, really good. They are the LA tweezers or La Tweeze, I'm really not sure. They do in fact come with a little light on them, which is always good because I'm so clumsy. I need every inch of help that I can get. And I did cut these down to size before, I'm not just shoving them on. Just in case you were wondering, going, oh my god, they're going to look really stupid. They probably will anyway, just because I am a disaster when it comes to things like this. But they are the right size for my face at least. So there we go, lash number 1 on. You can see the difference already. They are really volumizing, but they don't look too stupid. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other eyelash. So there we go, lashes are done. Beautiful fluttery lashes. So I'm going to pop this away. And the next thing we're going to do is the lower lashes now that we have got false lashes on and secured. So I'm just going to take up the Benefit They're Real mascara once again. I really am the worst person with lashes. They hate me. So I'm just going to go along our lower lash line just to bring these out a little bit more, make them look a little bit less like they aren't involved in the party. So with our lower lash line done and my false lashes secured, I think they might need to dry for a little bit longer. But I am going to move on to the final stages of this look, which is of course the lips. I'm going to start off with this lip pen from Maybelline. This is in colour Raisin number 40. It's just this really nice kind of purpley pinky colour. The look that Emma had was slightly more toned down, but the lipstick that I've got is just such a beautiful colour. I really wanted to use it and it's one of the only purples that I've got. So I'm going to start with just lining my lips. I could go out like this and look like a moron. Why not? I'm then going to put 2 lipsticks on, just because it is a bit more toned down. But the first one I'm going to use is the Calvin Klein lipstick, which is in Desire, which is this beautiful purple colour. So as you can see, this colour is really pigmented. I absolutely love it. I'm really missing wearing bright purples at the moment. Now we're going into sort of warmer weather, but I am going to just tone it down a little bit. And I really hate doing this to lipsticks, but I find it easiest to use the actual lipstick tube as well rather than using a lipstick brush, and it pains me. It really does pain me, but it's the easiest way to do it, and I am going to do it for the sake of beauty. I'm going to use the MAC Velvet Teddy matte lipstick just over the top, just to tone it down a little bit. So there now you can see, and I've actually smudged myself. It's just a lot more toned down and a lot more of a natural tone rather than a bright purple. And that is our makeup look done. We're now going to move on to the hair. Hi guys, so welcome to my messy bedroom. I do apologise. So you can see now the makeup look a little bit better. You can just see the gold and brown tones we've got on the eyes and the lashes properly and the lipstick as well. I've got rid of my smudge patch, so don't panic yourselves. For the hair look, it's a very simple look. It's just a simple bun at the back and a little bit of a wave. I'm just going to use my straighteners for it just because I find that a lot easier. So the first thing that we're going to do is just section off our hair. My straighteners live on top of the wardrobe, don't ask why. So what we want to do, we need to decide where our fringe, or how much of a fringe we want in the look. I tend to just pick a bit and shake it out just so I know sort of that I've got the shorter lengths of the hair at the front. I'm going to take about that much, but just take the longest layer of that back. I'm also going to take just a small section from the other side as well, and then do the same on this one. Bring the smaller layers forward and the longer layers back. So once we've got that done, we can just take a bobble and tie this all up at the back. It doesn't matter how messy it is, just as long as it's out of the way. Yes, this will not be the finished look, don't worry. The next thing we're going to do is take our straighteners and just put a little bit of curl into our hair. So it's a very simple wave, so I'm just going to grab the straighteners and just do a very quick manoeuvre down just to give us that tiny little bit of a wave. I'm then going to go back and we're just going to do a crimping effect. So we can crimp that way, crimp the other, and crimp back, and then crimp the other way. And this will give us this really nice curve, but that's not so much of a curve, it's more a wave. We're going to do this on the other side as well. We're going to do this in smaller sections and then we can bring it all together later on. So we're going to do the same here. We're going to go crimp that way, crimp the other way, and crimp that way, and then finish it off. So you can see here just the crimped effect we've got going on. So that is it for the straightening. I'm going to turn those off so I don't burn myself down. We now want to just push the fringe up and just do a little bit underneath just to give it a little bit of volume. And then that should stay pretty much on the side. So we have our two curved bits here. We're then going to take the rest of our hair down. And I have brushed mine through before this, even though it doesn't look like it. My hair is shocking. You then want to take all of this, try and if you push it up a little bit to get a little bit of volume at the top just here. And we're going to take this slightly to the side, not massively. Flip it around, just in a kind of a messy bun. And then we just want to tuck it in, if we tuck in the sides. It doesn't have to be perfect, we are going to go back with some bobby pins in a second. So we have our messy bun on the side, and all we want to do is take some bobby pins. And if you curve the bun over that you've just done, so if you just take a section and you curve it over and under, it'll make it look a lot neater, and then you can just pin that in place. We're going to take another bobby pin and just do the same. But this time we're just going to get all of these straggly hairs and wrap them around and underneath, and pin all of those down as well, just like so. It doesn't matter how many bobby pins you use for this, you are tucking them in and under, so you won't really see them very much. And that is the bun done. And then we have the front of our hair as well, which we just need to put a little bit of hairspray on. The hairspray that I've got, and it is on his last legs, is the L'Oreal Elmet hairspray. I've got the volume boosting, so all we need to do is take a section of our curled hair and we do a little bit of hairspray underneath and then a little bit on top, and just push while the hairspray is still damp, just to give it that little bit of volume. Do the same on the other side, just getting the hairspray underneath to give it that volume, and a little bit on top, just so you have something to push on. And then we just need to smooth that down, put a little bit more hairspray on for hold. You can get rid, if you do get some of these little straggly bits that I'm getting right here because I've run out of bobby pins, you can just hairspray those down just to keep them in. And that is the look completely finished. So we have our Emma Stone makeup, our bun, and our nicely slightly waved hair as well. I hope you like this tutorial, and hopefully you'll be back for more. You can click here to subscribe to my channel, or you can click here to follow a link to my blog. Like and subscribe. Bye!